A's Extra.
Welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show. Back at Veterans Field, Chatham set to face the best team in the Cape tonight, the Bourne Braves, alongside Chatham manager Tom Holliday, Emmanuel Berbari. It's time for the manager's show. Tom, last time against Brewster, a 3-1 loss. Of all the lefty pitching you faced this season, how did that stack up?
I thought the first guy was ordinary. I thought the second guy had a good fastball last night. Right at the right time, twilight coming in. That transition period in this league from 6:30 to 7:30, boy, that's when I would want to pitch. And then after 7:30, everything that their last guy threw looked like he was throwing 91, 92. It looked like he was throwing like 98. But that's what happens when you play at the ballparks that don't have lights. So none of them. I wouldn't bet on any of the three. Pitching in the big leagues, I wouldn't say they're not going to play pro ball because they're all left-handed, but none of them were exceptional.
Tonight you face Michael Sansone, another lefty for Bourne for the second time this season. You mentioned hitting lefties being somewhat of a mindset thing for your team. What do you think it'll take to break through?
A psychiatrist or just a whack job that can explain to them that the ball's coming at you, just a little bit different than a right-hander, and that it's not because they're left-handed that they're getting you out. It's because you're not working on something. It has become a thing, and anybody that has a lefty from this point on that's playing to win either division will throw a left-hander against us. And honestly, we either get mentally tough and we decide to work on what it takes to hit a lefty, or we'll just take our butt kicking and go home.
You talked about mechanical adjustments against a lefty.
Yeah.
What's different from the right side that you have to do against a lefty?
Well, the biggest problem we have is we got a bunch of one-gated swingers. All they want to do is swing and hit it out of the yard. They're a bunch of high-legged, big loop, and then anybody can throw a slider down and away, or a slider at their back foot, or a changeup away. A changeup's like a dead fish killer. And nobody has understood what rhythm adjustment is. I mean, it's like a term that it doesn't exist anymore. Guys are afraid to go to the front foot and hit the ball the other way. If they can't pull it and hit it on the screws, then they just as soon strike out. And that's a flaw right now in baseball. It's everywhere. Striking out should be embarrassing. It should hurt your feelings, and it should drive you to look for help. Instead, we strike out like, that guy, he's not that good, but I struck out. Well, when a guy's not that good and he strikes you out, that better hit your feelings. And we just haven't got guys got hit that deep yet.
When do you think that changed in baseball?
When somebody cuts you, or when somebody releases you, or somebody drops you out of the lineup, or somebody tells you you're not going to play, and then all of a sudden you realize that I'm not that good. There's something that everybody in amateur baseball can work on every day when they come to the yard. If all you want is feel-good batting practice, to where you can go in there and just pepper the fence in BP and get into the game and go 0 for 4 or 3 strikeouts, there's something wrong with that. The game is not won in batting practice. The game's won between the lines when somebody's trying to get you out. When you start to think about what's this guy doing to get me out, and what is it that's getting me out, and you try to fix it, then you got a chance to play this game. Not anybody or everybody is just born to hit everything. I mean, baseball's not an easy game, and good pitchers make it really tough. And to be a good hitter, you got to really work, not just on hitting, 500-foot batting practice home runs. Manny, that's the biggest thing I've seen this summer. That's been a problem for us. We have too many guys that feel good after BP. You get onto the cage and you try to work on balls running away, and some of the drills you do with them they've never done before. So you can't get mad at the players. They're not trying to sense. They're not trying to track. They get guys hitting out of one eye because their heads are flying off. Lots of little tiny mistakes. Hands are committing. Guys are checking balls in their hands. And then if they want to hit them, they can't hurt them anyway. How many pop-ups have we hit the other way that have gone 180 feet where a second baseman's catching it behind first? or the third baseman catching it behind third. That's a pitcher win. He wins. If he can empty your hands like that, pitcher wins. And the battle is like, man, I only got 60 days or not even 60 days this year. You got about maybe 55 days to learn how to use a wooden bat. And some guys have and some guys haven't.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, that's a long answer to one question.
Chatham manager Tom Holliday on the Manager's Show. We'll send it back up to Ben Schulman as the pregame show continues.